couple guys in here. Here they come. Morrison Outdoors. How's it going, dude? Got the people coming in here. I see them popping in here on the chat. On the live count here. Actually trying something a little bit different tonight. Moxon, what's going on, man? Tom, how's it going? David? We are live streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube this evening. Jay Basson, how's it going? Guys on Facebook, make sure you comment down there so I'll let me know that you're here. Wadded Fishing, how's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Guess you've been pretty dang busy with the holiday deliveries. Hank Snow, what's going on, dude? Hank, I wouldn't say I exactly figured it out. I'm actually doing one off my iPad, and then I'm doing my regular live stream off the computer. But running two programs to simultaneously stream both of them is, man, it's tough. I've watched I don't know how many different videos. I've tried playing around with it. Once I get it there, I'll get like a quarter of the picture in the top corner of the page, so it's not a full picture. So I think I figured that part out, but it still wasn't streaming to my Facebook page. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So just kind of play around with a little bit. We'll figure it out eventually. But for right now, I can, like I said, I can stream on Facebook on my iPad and still do it on my computer for YouTube. So it kind of works out. So we'll kind of play around with it and see what happens. And like I said, I've got probably 560, 570 followers on Facebook on my page up there. So hopefully we'll get a couple guys coming in there. It'd be nice. So Tom says, looking over the VF. Feed is much better. Yeah, Moxon, it's a whole lot better with the camera, and that fixing the internet really helped, made a huge difference. Oh, Skip Stroder's in the house. I see him down there. Hank Snow's watching over on the Facebook page. So Rodney Enderley's in there. What's going on, man? So we'll see how good this does keeping up with both of them here. So Water Fishing says, FedEx has been keeping me busy. We had a break today because of the snow. Yeah, dude, you had some snow going on up there, man. We've been doing a lot of freezing rain here today. We had a lot of rain. I think it's supposed to snow a little bit tonight and a little bit more freezing rain and supposed to drop temperature. So I'm sure we're going to see some pretty nasty roads in the morning. So we'll see what's going on with it. So Skip, can you hear me all right down there? Hank Snow says it's working. Yep, definitely. Oh, the pro roster. Okay, I got you. Sorry, Tom, I wasn't following you there. I didn't know what you were talking about for a second. All right, Okie Outdoors. How's it going, man? Nice to have you in the house. Tom's FLW. Okay. So, All-Stars. How's it going, man? Nice to see you in there. Let's see. Steven says, driving to Mississippi, listening while I'm driving down 59. Hey, man, at least Mississippi's got better weather than what we do right now. So enjoy the ride, and hopefully you keep listening here. Oklahoma's worst angler, how's it going, dude? Nice to see you in here. Skip says, sure can. All right, that's good to know. Make sure everybody can hear it all right. So let's see what else we got. What it says, have you done any pond fishing in a while? Mike, I went Sunday, which my video will be dropping Wednesday. Let's just say it's tough, dude. My pond's been setting anywhere from about 36 to 38, 39 degrees. They're pretty well shut down. So it's been pretty tough. Mike says, Hank says, hang in there. You'll survive. So has anybody else been out and been able to actually go fishing here in the Midwest? If any, what few of you guys are here in the Midwest? I don't see Whitewell fishing in here yet. I know he's an Indiana guy. Oklahoma's worst angler. I know you've been doing a little bit of fishing. You have any luck? Not much better. We got tornado warnings. You can keep I don't know, man. Tornadoes in the wintertime are just never good. We had one here a couple of years ago. It wiped through quite a bit of houses here. I think it was in like I want to say it was in February. I think it wasn't a good deal. Let's see. Okie Outdoors says got it done Saturday. Did you catch a munch, Okie? Chris Norris, how's it going, man? I'm doing good, man. Just enjoyed having a live stream that actually performs correctly. It's kind of nice and not glitching out everywhere and hanging. So pretty good. Hank says beautiful weather here, bluebird skies and no bites. Hank, what are you guys getting up to? About probably 60 down there during the day? Let's see. Oklahoma Forest Angler says Saturday we murdered them. Not really murder, catch and release murder. Hey, dude, whatever works, man. That's cool. You guys are still catching them though. Kevin Simmons, how's it going, man? Got the rare Monday night off. Thought I'd join you. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Hank says it was decent, Mike, till the last front came through. Joe Works, how's it going? Says I did Saturday, did all right at Kincaid. That's cool. I know Gabe said he caught a few over there. He said it wasn't too bad, but he will not be here tonight. He said he's working till about 8:30 tonight, so got some late stuff, and I'm sure the weather's probably not making it any better for him. I know he said he was going to listen in and try to comment when he could. So see, Marsha Wetzel's watching. That's awesome. Hi, Marsha. So let's see. Hank says 8. Oh, it's 84 there. I'm so sorry, Hank. So sad you don't get to enjoy this nice 26-degree weather we're gonna have. Chris says I live in Tornado Alley in Oklahoma. Yeah, you can keep that. I don't care for the tornadoes. Oh, Bob made it in. Bob said it's cold water fishing time. I have a giveaway for you: 3 packs of 10,000 fish Sakushi bugs. Awesome. He says 1 bed bug, 1 black and blue flake, and 1 PB&J. You pick the challenge. Bob, I tell you what, we will do a little trivia. Let me give me a few minutes. I'll think of something here. So, Tom says change phones using a stylish, non-short, stubby fingers. Gabe says sounds good. Camera looks great. Wish I could be there. Dude, I told you, man, you're missing out on the first good night of live stream that we don't have any issues so far. Oh, Travis is watching. How's it going, Travis? Travis, you need to get on YouTube, man. You got to get over here. Say, join in when Gabe's up here. Get some good conversations going. So, nope, let's see. 10 worth money in the house with Gabe. Bob says he'll drop them off tomorrow. All right. Gabe says, working my butt off, guys. He's got to deliver them packages for Christmas. Make sure they all get there. So, I tell you what, let me look up a little trivia question here. We'll do the giveaway for Bob's Baits there. All right. Let's see here. Actually, I think I've got a good one to go off of here. Give me just a second, guys, and I'll pull up a little trivia question here. All right, I got one. First person to name the new size of the moccasin jig. The weight is what I'm looking for. We'll see how many people actually paid attention here. So let's see what else we got going on here. Alsta says, our winters are tough like that. Alsta, you live at the beach. It can't be that bad. Oh, there's Hank Snow already, 7/16. Hank's going to cost me in shipping here. So Hank got it right away, so that's cool. So everything fish, how's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a little while. Yeah, Moxon, that was fast. Like I told you, these guys are paying attention. Been watching. Dylan, how's it going, man? I see you showed up. Let me see if the comments are on here. I don't see any comments rolling in on Facebook. There we go. All right. So Bob says, any other creek fishing kayak guys online? So any of you guys do any kayak fishing in creeks? Bob would like to know some stuff on that. Oh, Trevor Hammond's in the house. How's it going, Trevor? So All-Star says no. We live plenty far inland. Okay. I thought you were pretty close to the actual beach there. Was it North Carolina or South Carolina, All-Star? Hank says, yes, I keep up on good things. Good answer, dude. So, fish, how you doing tonight? Trevor, eventually you got to leave your truck open for me so I can drop them reels off for you. So, how many of you guys in here actually do kayak fishing? Kind of curious to see. I know Full Armor Bassett was meeting with Chad Hoover. He had a pretty good video put out on that, which I like his videos, but man, that guy, he promotes a lot of expensive stuff. Me and Bob were actually talking about that before the stream took on. It will be open tomorrow. All right, dude, I will drop your reels off in your truck. If your keys aren't, I'll make sure I lock it back up, too. Oakland Force Fingers is Team MotoVA. Jay Bass, and I primarily kayak fish. See, there you go, Bob. Jay does primarily kayak fishing. Tom says I can't sit in kayaks. Tom, I'm gonna have to agree with you, dude. I haven't done it yet, but I think that's gonna be a hard deal for me to do. Everything Fish says sometimes a kayak fish in creeks, but only on very slowly moving ones there. I think a lot of largemouth bass you think of moving ones. There are a lot more largemouth bass than you think in a creek. Oh, definitely, dude. I've actually caught some pretty decent largemouth out of the creeks around here. So Trevor on Facebook says, I kayak fish, but just ponds and lakes. Never get into the streams with it yet. Keith Combs watching. How's it going, Keith, man? Nice to see you in there. Yeah, Trevor, you need to get your butt on YouTube and get over here and watching this stream. You can talk to Bob. He's actually from here local. He does a lot of fishing down the Sling Creek and stuff like that behind the water plant and some other places. So I'm going to hook up with him, see what he's got going. I do know he's got 2 kayaks, so he's always looking for somebody to go with. So Chris North says Bass Nation is starting bass tournaments in 2020. Yeah, Gabe and I were kind of talking about that a little bit last time. It's going to be interesting. I'm just curious to see how many different branches we can get going to where it's going to start. People are going to start going and just watching a little bit of each one. I don't think they're going to have as big of audiences as they did before, but I'll be curious to see how it turns out. So Tom says kayaks, hip replacement, another on the way. Yeah, dude, that's kind of what I'm worried about. I can't sit down for a long period of time like that. I drove heavy equipment for a while, and that's the one thing that drove me nuts is sitting down like that constantly, and it's plays hell on your hips, that's for sure. And Hank Snow says, "Hey guys and gals, let's give BYB a thumbs up. Definitely make sure you're smashing that thumbs up. That would be much appreciated." Moxon Lures says, "I fish some small rivers, not creeks. Don't kayak fish. We sponsor a kayak trail that always wants me to fish a tournament. I love the water, but I don't want to end up in it. Also afraid of snakes." That's a good little note to have there, Moxon. Might have to bring you some presents down. So, I would kayak fish, but you need a kayak for that. Yes, Hank, you definitely do need a kayak for that. So Bob says, "Oh, Jay, do you fish in the Saline Creek or maybe the Merrimack?" Everything fish, small. Let's see, smallmouth wise, I never catch them in creeks, only in rivers. Probably since LMB come from lake to lake. Oh, I got you. Okay. Moxon Lures says, they say the new kayaks are a lot more stable. Might try one of those these days. I like to stand while I'm fishing. Yeah, dude, there's quite a few of them out there that I see a lot of guys standing in, and that's probably something I would try. Just being able to actually stand in there, I think that'd be a little bit neater. You know, I could be a little bit easier with that. That sitting down in that 90-degree angle like that is just, that would kill me. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, guys. I got my phone blowing up over here, an iPad going off. I got all kinds of stuff going on here. That's why I need Gabe here to keep up with everything. But he failed me this evening. So you guys make sure you blow him up on us next time he's up here. Make sure you ask him about 50 questions in a row. That way he don't have time to do anything. So Oklahoma's Worst Angler says there's plenty of kayaks with elevated seats now. You won't be sitting on the deck of a yak. Okay, well, that's good to know then. So let's see. Oh, Derek is in the house. How's it going, Derek? Nice to see you join. Lynette is going on. All kinds of people joining in here on the Facebook side. Just have to keep that going. Make sure we get some of these guys over on the YouTube side. Start growing this channel a little bit more. Mark is watching. How's it going, Mark? So, I was actually going to show you guys this. Let's see here. So, I wanted your guys' thoughts on one of these lures that came in this Lucky Tackle box before we get too far here. So, this little guy right here. Let's see, we can get focused in there. Oh, I don't know if it's going to focus or not on that. Well, probably not. Actually, hang on, let me see here. Trying to deal with the new camera, and it's being a pain in the butt here. Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's just not going to want to focus here. Anyway, that was the one I was showing you guys, that little lipless crank there. Whether view from that side or not. But anyway, if you guys can see that color on there, I was actually wanting to see what you guys thought about that. I thought that was probably one of the most prominent bluegill colors that I've seen out there as far as matching the hatch. I mean, it worked really, really well. Hey, Lynette, how's it going? So I'll show you guys too. Actually shows up on there pretty decent. So, you know, I'll see what you guys' thoughts were on that. Like I said, for a small pond or something like that, I think this bait is actually going to be just phenomenal. So, like I said, I don't know why it won't focus up here. It's kind of odd. I had it focusing before. It's kind of aggravating. So, I'll focus that back down. But yeah, it's just not going to focus. But anyway, you guys get the gist of it. You've seen it in the video, so let's get back up here to the comments. Let's see. Chris North says, I know Fluke Master talks about the fishing in the kayak in Florida around the gators. No, thank you. Dude, there's no way I am stepping foot in any kayak. I don't care if you can stand on it or not. I will be the guy that's going to be running across the top of the water if I got a gator near my kayak. I have no interest in that whatsoever. That's nuts. But see everything fish. I know someone who has an old kayak, 2015, and a new one, 2019, which is advertised as super sturdy, but I don't see the difference. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I've seen a lot of them out there that say they've got standing platforms on them or whatever you want to call them, or balancing forms or something. I forgot what they were, but like I said, I've never stepped foot in either one of them. I don't know that much about them, but it's just not my style. I don't think I really care for it. Now around ponds, small ponds and stuff like that, around where I live, I think it'd be interesting to take a couple of them, just because they don't see a lot of boats, they don't see a lot of stuff out in the water, and they don't see a lot of baits getting thrown to the bank and dragged back out to the deep. So I think you'd have a pretty good chance of catching a lot of fish that aren't used to seeing that. But then again, a lot of places, a lot of ponds and stuff where I live are privately owned. So one, you have to get permission to go and everything else, and then I have to get a kayak, obviously. Which I know Bob on here, he definitely said he'd let me use one of his kayaks and we can go fishing, but we just haven't quite went into it yet. So Gabe says, what is the coldest water you've ever caught a bass on a swim jig? Honestly, Gabe, I can tell you it was probably was it this year or last year? I think it was this year. This year at Kentucky Lake. I think the water, it was in the mid 40s. I know that. We went down there and I had pretty good luck on a swim jig there. It had to be a straight white swim jig though. I tried some of the other ones to, mimic like a bluegill and stuff like that, and they wouldn't touch it. If it wasn't white, they didn't want it. But that's probably the coldest I've ever thrown a swim jig in and caught fish on. So Oklahoma's Worst Angler says, with my knees, there's no way I could do the 90 degrees either. Bonafide might be some of the best for elevated seats and standing stability. So it's not too bad then. I've heard a lot of the Bonafide ones. I haven't really checked them out or anything like that. I don't know what prices run on them or anything like that, but I've heard a lot of guys really preaching on the Bonafide ones. Hank says, "Come on, they won't bother you." Yeah, Hank, I don't believe you. You can keep your gators down there, dude. I don't want nothing to do with them gators. Up here, I'm like, I go swimming with a lake that's got a ton of muskie in it, and they don't really bother me. But man, the thought of one of them things latching onto your leg or something scares the living crap out of me. So let's see. Bob says sitting is the hardest problem in a kayak. You need short rods and a really good seat, but it's a lot of fun. Yep. Like I said, dude, we'll try it out this summer or this spring even. Probably not this spring. I don't get a whole lot of time during the spring. I got a lot of stuff going on. But definitely in the summer, there is a few places that I would like to go take them kayaks and try. So I will definitely be hooking you up on that. Oh, Bill's in the house. What's going on, Bill? So let's see. Tom says elevated seat, still not high enough in kayaks. Tom, I'm with you, man. I really am. Gabe says I need a ping pong paddle. I know, dude. I don't know what's going on. It was working before, but it just will not focus. You know what? Let me try something here. Let me see if this works. I don't know if this will or not. I can try to hold it up there and see if it works. Hey, there we go. So there you guys go. Now you can see the color of that ouch. Let me get that out of me. So I'm going to show you guys that color. That is just an all-around awesome color. I mean, it's bluegill 100% of the way. So Mox says that crank Looks like it has a wrap. If I quit sticking myself, I will let you know here. I'm going to guess it's definitely a wrap. It's definitely not a paint job, I don't think. But either way, it's an unbelievable color, I can tell you that. Everybody Fish says the blue is perfect, especially in green water. Yeah, I would agree with you there, definitely. So Hank Snow says, Gabe, his next is going to be sore tomorrow. Bob says, ID fish. Oh, I'd fish that in the creek anytime. I have to match the live bait. Bob, I'm telling you, that there, I have seen plenty of the bait fish that are in a creek, and that is it's perfect for them. I'm telling you, you'd love that one. So All Star says, so what crank was that? All Star, that is. Let me grab this out here. I'll tell you exactly what name it was. That is the Bait Brigade. It's called the Scout. Like I said, it was in that lucky tackle box. Like I said, that was probably the best lure I pulled out of there. Compared to that old musky looking lure that they had stuffed away in there. So Mox, oh, he's talking to Gabe. Tom says, I've seen a double wide version that look interesting, but I know I probably couldn't afford it. I'll just have to stick with my John boat. Hey man, nothing wrong with a John boat. I fished out of them for years. Matter of fact, one of the guys in my club, he fished in it for a long time out of a John boat. I think it was a 14-foot John boat, but he fished tournaments out of that thing and had no problem kicking anybody's butt in that. So, oh, Mike made it on. How's it going, Mike? Really need to get you guys over to the YouTube side. Make it a whole lot easier. So Tom says, oh, nope, seen that. See everything fish. I have to go, everyone. Are ready to subscribe. Have a great night. All right, dude. We'll see you later. Hank Snow says, is that a pumpkin seed color? That is about as close to pumpkin seed as you're going to get, Hank. Like I said, it's for a bluegill mimic. I've never seen anything that mimics them that well. I mean, it is just a perfect match for what I have in my pond. Now, I mean, down south they're going to be different, wherever. But I mean, for around here, that's a perfect color. Oh, Bill said, "What's up?" He's late. No problem, Bill. Dominic, what's going on, man? Oh, Mark Waymire just made it in on the YouTube or on the Facebook deal. All right. Like I said, make sure you guys are leaving some questions over here too. I'll answer them on Facebook too. So just kind of going back and forth between you guys and make sure I get everybody's questions answered here. And let's see. Hank, you, let's see. Two good things. All right. So Mark says the camera is looking good. Yes, it is, dude. I'm glad I have it too. Made a huge difference. Hank says I can tell you that if I had a boat, my wife would never see me. Hank, I'm going to tell you right now that is an absolute true statement. My wife, when it comes to spring and summertime, my job is pretty easy going with being I work from about 7 or 7:30 to 5. So I get off early enough in the evenings. I can kind of take my boat back to work with me after lunch break and just leave straight from work. And the local lake's probably maybe 10 minutes away, if that. So I do that quite a bit too. So like I said, she doesn't see me a whole lot in the spring and summer, which I try to take her with me, but it doesn't always work out. One lost dude is in the house. You did not miss a whole lot except for the big giveaway that Hank won. You did miss out on that. So Chris says Oklahoma actually has a John Boat type tournament trail. Well, that's pretty cool. That's something we probably need to do around here. I guess we kind of have it actually. We we have a 9.9 club. So it's a motor. It's a 9.9 motor, nothing bigger. And there is quite a few different lakes around the area that I live that's all you can have on them. So it keeps a lot of bigger boats off of it, keeps the pressure off the lakes, which works out real well. But the 9.9 clubs are becoming so popular that, I mean, the lakes are getting probably just as much, if not more pressure now than what they were. So it's a really good idea. Like I said, it keeps the guys that can't afford a big fiberglass boat and stuff like that. It keeps them still fishing tournaments. So I think it's a great idea, though. Bob said that's why all my boats have girls' names. All right, Bob. I'm not there going to ask what their names are either. Oh, let's see. And have any of you guys watch David Dudley? He has been putting out some extremely interesting topics here lately. I know the one, I think he did it today. It was on a 12-inch fish or the bigger fish. You know, pretty much fishing two different tournaments. You know, fishing like the FLW style where it's, you know, 5 fish, or the Major League Fishing style where it's just anything a pound and up that works. He was talking about, you know, what is necessarily harder and stuff like that, you know. But he's got some pretty good topics on there. I really enjoy watching him when I get a chance. But what is your guys' thoughts? Would you rather go after 5 fish for a limit, or would you rather go after, you know, anything over a pound works? Tom said yes, he watched that one today. What's up, big dog? Autumn Savage Fishing. What's up, man? I haven't seen you on in a while. Wait for these guys to get typing a paragraph, evidently. All I catch are 1-pounders. Well, we know what side you're going to then, man. Nothing wrong with that. Mox says definitely 5 biggest. I'm 100% agreeance in that. That's which way I lean. Is it's definitely the 5 biggest. And I don't think for any reason at all that it is easier to catch a 1-pounder, because those guys go out there. I mean, you look at Jared Swindle, Plunkett, and them guys. I mean, they struggled hardcore on that deal. So it's definitely not easy. It's not something anybody can go out there and do. I think I'd said before, you know, I'd be the finesse king, and I hate finesse fishing. So I think the biggest finesse thing I do is a finesse jig. Other than if I'm taking my kids to a local pond or something like that, you know, I'll put a fairy one in my hand and go out there with a finesse worm, like a trick worm, the Zoom trick worm, or a Cinco or something like that, and I fish them weightless. You know, that's about as finessey as I get. Full Armor Bass in the house. How's it going, dude? Adam says, sitting here doing some editing. Man, that's always a fun deal, isn't it? I don't mind it nearly as much now since I got the new computer. Guys, if you don't believe me, you can ask Gabe what I was dealing with as far as editing. When I would edit a video, and this is no joke, like I said, Gabe will back me up 100% on this. My video would load from here, and my video would go all the way to here. Now, my audio would only go from here to here. So it was never matched up. So when I uploaded the video, I never knew how the audio was going to work. The video, I didn't know if I actually cut it in the right place because it skipped around so much. It was absolutely terrible. So thank God I got this new computer. It's going to make it a whole lot easier. So, all right, let's see. Mike says MLF is really kind of boring. Just watch the last half hour or so, and then you see all you need to. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say probably the first 3 tournaments they come out with. Me and another guy at work, we watched like the first 3 tournaments pretty religiously, and we got hyped up, and we were enjoying it. It was kind of like watching a hockey game or something like that. You know, it was just one guy could catch one, and then this guy could catch one, and it was really interesting the first couple times. But after that, it just really kept falling off, and we weren't nearly as interested. And I noticed a lot of other people weren't being interested in it, so I think it just kind of fell off. And I think that's how a lot of people were. So I would definitely agree with that. Hank says finesse fishing can catch them when they get lockjaw. Oh, definitely, dude. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't ever finesse fish. If I fish tournaments, I will more than happily go finesse fishing. Well, maybe not happily. I will go finesse fishing, but I just don't care to do it religiously. That's for sure. So, let's see where we're at here. Bob says the more fish, the better. Blowing lightweight rods and have lots of fun. Definitely, dude. That's what I saved the crappie and bluegill for. Tom said he's done 2 today. Was the second part. Who is that on? Oh, I got on Dudley's. I got you. Sorry, Tom. All right, former Bastian says he's editing as well. Block tackle, what's going on, dude? Says MLF rocks. Dude, I was like that to begin with, man. Not saying it's bad. I just not my type anymore, really. Just fell out of it really quick. Adam says I'm a traditional guy. Prefer the 5 fish weigh-ins. Yeah, like I said, I'm that way too. I wouldn't mind doing a MLF style tournament maybe once a year or something. But I think I'd probably keep it something local, maybe between buddies or something like that. But other than that, I don't think I'd really get into it. So Tom says catching 5 really isn't different than every fish counts. Had to weed through lots of small fish to get the big ones. Yeah, I could see that. Chris says, what I know is that don't catch all these big fish at one time. They catch small ones, they just don't count. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as long as they're catching fish, I guess it's good for the TV or whoever's watching. So it's not just at a standstill. So I really look for that to keep MLF going the way they're going. I think that's what actually keeps the audience there. Block says, I'm not here to argue about what tour is the best, but MLF rocks. Yeah, sure you are, Block Tackle. Chris says, I just like bass fishing, MLF, FLW, VSS. I'll watch it all. Definitely, dude. That's, like I said, it was neat when the MLF come out. It really was. I thought I was really going to enjoy it and really be able to watch it, and it just kind of fell off. But I still enjoy it. I just, not like I did the first couple times. David said, well said, definitely. Adam says, I do, however, like the MLF format and how those guys don't have to pay to fish. Pro baseball players and football players don't play to pay either. That's a very good, solid point. The thing is you have to have something there, or you're going to have every Tom, Dick, and Harry, trying to fish everything. So being able to qualify and stuff like that, or have a what do you call it, an invitation to go do it, I think is well played on their part. So I was surprised I haven't seen Jason Beck on here yet too. Moxon, we're going to have to give Jason a little call. He shows up last week and wins 2 giveaways and don't even show back up tonight. Might have to give him a little crap on that. Of course, Hank was owning the show earlier, answering the question in about 3 seconds. So, make sure I didn't miss anything over here. All right. So, which circuit is that says your boat can't be older than 2 years? One lost dude. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that's probably an FLW event. Because I know those guys, they do them about every year or two. I'm just gonna guess that's who it is the FLW. They've got a lot of weird rules and stuff in theirs. Tom says every fish counts format is great for TV and getting new people to take interest. Yeah, Tom, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like I said, it really, really brought me into it right off the bat, and then got me excited to watch the first couple of them. And then after that, I was just kind of done with it. I think something else that kind of hurts it is it was only broadcast on their website too. That kind of hurt it, I think. And the thing was, is it was during the week a lot of times, which I know they tried to go and do like different days of the week and do a couple into the weekends. But I think if you're going to have a tournament that, let's say it's 4 days or 5 days, whatever it may be, if you're going to do 3 days out of the week that's during the week and people are working, it's going to be hard to grow that sport like that. I think if maybe they didn't, I would say if they're going to do a couple days during the week, maybe don't broadcast those. Save them for the weekend, show the highlights of them, and then do the next 2 days on the weekend open to broadcast. And I think maybe you keep them in there a little bit longer then. So Mike says that is for the contingency. Yes, for the contingencies. That's right. Oh, let's see here. And I got one smart aleck over here that isn't commenting on my channel. He probably doesn't have good signal out there. But he's wanting to know if I ever caught if I've ever caught a fish on a piece of deer sausage. And I would have to say I don't think so. I caught them on a lot of other things, especially catfish, but I don't think a piece of deer sausage. Let's see, one lost dude says 100K every other year. My wife would die. Now, is that by accident, one lost dude, or there's something going on there with like an insurance policy? Tom says that 2 year was for Triton gold money. Ranger also has a contingency program like that. Yeah, that's what Mike was saying just a second ago. Yeah, because I know a lot of those deals have extra money, extra giveaways, extra stuff like that. If you're in a bass boat or if you're in a Triton boat, and so on. If you're winning those tournaments, you get more money, you get more advertisement or more sponsorship money, some other stuff too. So, Block Tackle says bass is not going nowhere, and MLF, FLW is not going anywhere either. Dude, I don't think any of them are going anywhere at all. No, definitely. So let's see here. Back up. Oh, look at something. So how many of you guys in here actually fish tournaments? It doesn't matter if it's I don't care if it's just club tournaments or buddy tournaments or whatever. How many of you guys actually fish tournaments in here? So Adam says he does. Fishing is fishing, no matter the format or league. Just enjoy it all. Definitely, Hank. Guys, there's some crazy lady on my Facebook page. Adam says he fishes. Okay, USA Bassin. All right. What region you in, Adam? Hank says, I would love to fish tournament one day. Hank, I'm sure you guys got tournaments down there by you can probably get in them. I know you don't have like you said, you didn't have the boat, right? But I mean, there's all kinds of, I know just like our club tournament here where I live, there's all kinds of guys looking for partners all the time. So it's not hard to get into. It really isn't. You show a little interest and want to fish, I mean, I guarantee you somebody in there will probably get you hooked up with somebody and let you fish. One last dude said Bass just started a kayak circuit. Man, there's been a lot of kayak circuits I've been seeing going on. Florida Bass says I fished a couple of buddy tournaments with your next cast, and let's see, Bass and Furious. Good friends and great channels. There you go. Florida Bass, I think it'd be kind of hard. I feel sorry for your boys, man. Having to fish with you in the boat. I don't know how they cast over your hair. That's got to be a pretty straight over the head shot there. And I'm not ripping on you, man. I love your hair. It's awesome. So, see, Bob says, anyone who wants to do some kayak fishing, get in touch with me at schlatter@yahoo.com. Definitely. He's a good dude. Chris says, I fish the BSS Nation Club, that you can fish nation qualifiers. That's cool, dude. I tell you what, there's some good prize money to be won in a lot of those, I hear. I know Gabe, he does a lot of U.S. Bassin. He does, I know he does the 9-9 Club, but I think there's actually 2 of them that he participates in over there. So, and he did some of the BFLs too. All-Star, you didn't miss much of anything. Don't worry. So let's see what we got going here. And just let you guys know, in case you did want to do some kayak fishing with Bob, he lives here in Missouri, so he's right by me. Just to give you guys an idea where he's at. So Joe says I'm starting back next season after a little over 15 years. Well, good luck, Joe. Did the FLW name get dropped completely with the merger? Not that I know of. Unless somebody else knows something I don't. I didn't hear anything about that. Mike, if you're still on here, have you heard anything about the FLW name getting dropped when they merged? See here. Now, Chris, how far do your guys' tournaments go? I mean, I know they go all over the place, but like your actual region, do you guys have like a certain driving distance or anything you have to abide by? Oh, that's what you thought eventually would happen. I got you, Buck. Okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay. Tom says, I used to fish between 26 to 30 tournaments a year. It's a lot of tournaments, man. I usually get I'm probably close to 20, a little over 20 probably. Makes for a long year sometimes, I'll say that. Especially if you haven't been catching them good. I went through that little spell about probably 3 or 4 years ago where it didn't matter what tournament I was fishing at. It was a struggle all year long. It was aggravating, but you just got to keep going out there and wet up the grind. But eventually you get back into it. So, how many of you guys are actually pond fishermen in here? I know Mark over here on the Facebook. I know he's a pond fisherman. He likes his little private lakes too. Eventually, I'm going to hit his little private pond and see what kind of bass he's got in there. Mark says, what's your favorite lure for nighttime bass fishing? I would definitely have to go with probably some type of black worm. Probably, I do like the jelly worm, the black jelly worm. I think it's a 12-inch worm. That's probably one of my favorites. Other than that, if I'm in a rocky reservoir or lake or something like that, I'll definitely go with a crankbait. Just kind of depends on where I'm at, but I would say all-time favorite would probably be the black jelly worm. All right, let's catch back up here. Smash that thumbs up. Yes, full armor bassing. I appreciate that. Hawk Tackle says, I fish farm ponds. All Star says, that's all I really do is pond fish. I fish a lot of ponds. Hank. Let's see. Hank Snore, I fish a lot of ponds. Tom says, yes, sir, I will take some of the fun out of it. Yeah, it does, definitely. Lots of ponds and subdivisions and golf courses around me. Chris says, Oklahoma State. The lakes get voted on each year. Oh, okay, I got you. The Lost Dude says, I used pond fish when I lived in Indiana. Well, your ponds probably aren't too far off different from what we have here, I'm sure. Block Tackle says, favorite spinnerbait, no sponsors, be real. 100% guaranteed my favorite spinnerbait out there, and I can tell you anybody that's ever fished with me, and they'll see me throw them, is a War Eagle. Guaranteed. Actually, hang on a second. I will get you. I'll even show you. All right, guys. So this is my absolute all-time favorite. That's a spot remover. It's more of a see-through. It's got a little chartreuse in it, and like I told you guys the other day, it does have that silver or chrome and the gold blade on it. That is my all-time favorite color, favorite spinnerbait. That thing has never let me down. And you guys can see right there, I do throw that. That is in the 3/8 ounce and the 1/2 ounces. The only two I really throw that in. But yeah, that is, like I said, no sponsors, no nothing. All-time favorite spinnerbait, hands down. Moxon says, enjoy fishing ponds. Haven't fished a pond in years. Black buzz baits are awesome nighttime lures. Absolutely, dude. Tom says nighttime, anything black, buzzbait, spinnerbaits, worm, or crankbait. Yep. Hank Snow says vibrating jig and a spinnerbaits and stick baits work for me at night. Yep, definitely. And I'll tell you, that's the one time you want to talk about, throwing a stick bait. That is the one time I actually do use a weight with a stick bait. I would say 90% of the time I don't use a weight with a stick bait. I usually throw it weightless. But at night, I definitely will stick a weight on there. Lex says, no doubt. Kevin Simmons, Old Stanley wedge. There you go, man. Hank says, I have a lot of success on a vibrating jig and spinnerbait at night. Yep. And if you want to throw spinnerbait, now one thing I've noticed on spinnerbaits, just at night, I kind of look at it as like a kind of a winter tip. When I'm throwing spinnerbaits, and this is probably one of the very, very few times I ever throw this, but it's a black spinnerbait with a big, giant gold Colorado blade. That is probably the only time, except for the very, in the late winter, I'll throw a Colorado blade. Hank says a Whopper Plopper also catches them. Oh, I can definitely see that. I haven't thrown a Whopper Plopper at night yet. At night, white Holly Molly frog. I can see that working, dude. Big time. Especially that big old bright white belly. Moxon says favorite spinnerbait equals rattlehead spinnerbaits. Rattlehead spinnerbaits. Rattlehead spinnerbaits. I know that. I'll have to look that up, Moxon. I know that. I've heard that before. Chris says he likes the Picasso Invez wire spinnerbaits. David says old War Eagles. Yep. Chris, going back to your Picasso, the one thing I did notice about Picasso, don't get me wrong, I haven't thrown them, but the one thing I have noticed about Picasso is how light that wire is. Now, when I fish these War Eagles, they're a little bit stouter wire, but a 2-pound, 2.5-pound bass just annihilates this wire on this thing. And with that that little bit smaller wire that Picasso has, I have a feeling the fish are just going to absolutely tear that wire apart. Now, with that being said, I will tell you, I preach and preach and preach on a spinnerbait. The more it gets used, the limber it gets, the more it's fine-tuned, it swims better, It has more thump to it. But with the Picassos, the wire is so small, and you get that thump initially. But I don't think I don't think that wire is going to hold up for what I use it for. I really don't. So David says Pepper's custom spinner baits are really good also. I'll check them out, David. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Pepper's custom. Adam Savage says the Cumberland Pro. Guess that's a spinner bait of your choice, Adam. Mark says I've used the black jitterbug night at the lake and did very well. Yeah, the black jitterbug's another one. That's a good one to throw across there too. I tell you what, the jitterbug, you talking probably 25 years ago, man, that jitterbug was on fire. Or has been for a long time, but let's see here. Block Taco says, I really dig the new Max Scent stuff. It says never had an issue with the Picasso. They make a different gauge wire spinner baits. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Chris. And like I said, I'm not knocking them at all. I haven't thrown them, just held them in my hand. I just noticed how light the wire was. That was my only concern, was whether or not that wire was actually going to hold up. Adam says, the Cumberland Pro lures. Yep, I'm not a big spinnerbait guy, but they make some good spinner baits and other tackle. That's good to know. The hula popper, yeah, definitely, dude. Trying to think of a name. There was one I had. It was an old lure. I'm sure my grandpa probably gave it to me, but it was a wooden one, kind of like a hula popper, that I used for a long time in ponds, and finally got it ripped away from me. It was probably a 3-pound bass. Maybe it might have been 4 pounds. I don't know. I wasn't very old. But I use that thing day in and day out. The regular poplar, definitely. Those are phenomenal. Which I will say I think it's 6 Cents that come out with one of their poppers that I really, really liked. I did get one. I haven't used it yet, though. I'm anxious to try that down at Kentucky Lake this year around some of the docks. I tell you what, it's hard to beat a popper around docks like that. They'll call them fish out from underneath them docks pretty deep. Did any of you other guys actually fish any part of like Kentucky Lake or Barkley Lake? I'm sure Adam does, but let's see here. Kevin says the War Eagle was originally made with the Plano wire. Not sure if he still uses that. Was 20 plus years ago. Yeah, I'm not sure which wire they use. I haven't went real in depth with the War Eagle. I've fished them for so long, and I've had such good luck with them. And that color in particular is just absolutely killer, especially down at Lake of the Ozarks. Tom says night fishing will make sure your heart rate go up and damn near scare you. Yeah, yeah, it will. I tell you what, Tom, there's a couple of guys that I see when we go fish Lake of the Ozarks every year. They have night tournaments the same time we have our tournaments. And one of the worst things about that is when they take off, it's pitch dark to begin with. And there's one point that they have to go around. Well, this point comes way out there. Now, I mean, it's shallow. And these guys, when you're watching them go across there, you're swear up and down one of them are going to lose their whole entire lower unit, or if not, their whole motor, because they cut it so close in that point. That's the one thing that scares the crap out of me about running boat, at night like that. Just I don't have any interest in doing that. All right, Chris says Jason Christie, his Booyah Covert Series spinner baits are really good. Yeah, I haven't thrown any of those. I have thrown quite a few of the Booyah baits. The other one that I really liked was the well, I cannot even think tonight. Not Strike King. I can't. You know what? Maybe it is the Booyah baits, spinner baits I'm thinking of. There's a couple of them that it's their smaller series. It's their 3/8 size that I really liked. I have to think about it. I have to come back to that one. I don't remember which one it was now. Adam says mainly Cumberland Lake and the other local lakes. I fished Kentucky Lake though. Oh, I guess okay. So you're probably on the eastern side then, I'm guessing. Moxon says the rattle bed baits, head baits. Spinner bait is available for a small company out of Tennessee. Has since closed. Have to email to order. It has a brass casing and the hook rattles, creating noise. Very unique. I might have to hook you up with that. Look you up later with that, Moxon. I might check them out. So Bob says the new video is awesome. Keep up the awesome work. See you tomorrow. Drop off the giveaway. Good night. All right, dude, man. It's nice having you in here. We're getting ready to get off here anyway. We've already hit over an hour here, so. Block says I like the War Eagles, and they are my favorites. The Booyah does make great spinner baits. Yeah, like I said, I agree with you, man. I've used plenty of the Booyah baits, the spinner baits in particular. I'm very, very, very picky when it comes to my spinner baits. I don't throw a whole lot of different ones. Starting off, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many different spinner baits. I had some that I got away with or got away from just because I like to throw spinner baits in a lot of cover. And they were constantly getting hung up. I was losing them left and right, so I kind of got away from them. The Booyahs weren't too bad about that at all. I did notice they were pretty good about coming through. But the blade designs and the blade combinations is where War Eagle kind of won me over there. I do like having, like on this one, you can tell, like on that one, that top spinner or that top blade is a little bit smaller than the bottom one. And yes, I know I can change them out. That's not my point. I like to buy something straight out of the package, not have to do anything to it, and go along with it. That's what I really, really like. And that's one of the reasons that Moxon Jigs is so awesome. Is any of their jigs I buy or get, they're straight out of the package. They're great. You don't have to do anything to them. Maybe put a trailer on them, tie them on your line. That's about it. They're already trimmed. They got good hooks. They're just set up, and that's why War Eagle is one of my favorites. They're already done. They're set up. They're ready to go. The exact sizes I want and everything. So, oh, sorry, Mark, couldn't see it. So there you go. See it there. So, but yeah, I mean that's my thoughts. And there's a lot of companies out there that they want to sell you their base model or whatever you want to call it, but you have to do all this stuff to it. And I'm particularly not interested in that. I mean, I know a lot of pros out there, they'll go grab a spinner bait or grab a jig off the shelf and they do this and do that, and it's the greatest and latest best thing. But I'm just not into that, not that far, at least. But all right, guys. Well, like I said, we were a little over an hour here, and we're going to call it good there. I appreciate you guys joining, and we will definitely do this next Monday, and hopefully Gabe can get in here next Monday, and we'll get another good live stream going. And now that we can actually do it with no interruptions and we got a good picture, hopefully this thing will work out a little bit better. So, like I said, appreciate you guys stopping by. And let's see, Tom says I still have some old Bill Dance Midnight Special spinner baits on the pegboard. Well, hopefully you get out there and get to use them at least, Tom. Don't make souvenirs out of them. So, all right, guys, we will see you again next week. Appreciate you watching.